Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Broskies. As always, I'm Alex Fox.
And I'm Elijah Phillips.
Now, for those of you who aren't aware, before the Power Squad video was released onto our channel, there were two very large videos in the Power Squad slash New Hero Saga
Well,
that
there
we
would
made.
there would be there would be another very long video afterwards, but this is about these two videos.
Yes. And because these videos are so long and there's so much background behind the videos, we decided, you know what? Let's just make a podcast episode about those videos.
And those two videos in question are Slay in the Elemental and Supernova and the Four Knights.
All right. So, which video shall we begin on?
I would say Slay in the Elemental, seeing as how that one I believe came out first, and that one was intended to be released first.
That was the intention.
So this came to me one night. I was laying in bed watching some YouTube. And I thought, man, it'd be really cool. A Slay and the Elemental team up video. Just those two in a full on team up. They're both at their prime right now. They're both at where they could be, kicking ass.
Taking names.
So I call up. So I take a picture. I take several pictures, and I open PixArt, I splice them together, and that is what would become the Slay in the Elemental thumbnail. The iconic purple and red thumbnail. Chef's kiss. That right there was the first sign of greatness. What did you think of that thumbnail when I sent it to you?
I thought I really I think that's like what made you realize that that should be the official thumbnail when I was like, dude, this is so fucking good. Also, I just realized my background lighting
Is
is,
like Slay in the Elemental,
yeah,
yeah.
purple and red.
And I got white, blue,
Ah, blue raspberry.
Supernova.
Same thing.
But anyways, so I did that, and then I made the title card, which was in the video. So the idea now was, what was it gonna be about? And I had several ideas at the time. So at the time, it was around like mid-pandemic, and around that time, Mafia 1 Remake had just come out, and that was really, really big for me. I was really hyped about that game just because, it was one of the first games I remember playing, so the remake was just very important to me. So I was like, okay, I might throw a little bit of mobster stuff in there. I might do a little bit of this, but then I also realized that I left a little bit of a loose end in Slay the Violet Protector with the Raven. Then I realized that I killed him in the Elemental. And I realized, what would the Raven look like at his truest potential? What he could have been, possibly. And then I was like, yeah, I think I got an idea. So I'm in the car with my mom one day, and I'm like jamming out, listening to the radio, and all of a sudden I hear a song on the radio, and it's like, I can see her lying back in her satin dress in the room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you been creeping down my back stair. I'm like, oh my god, that's gotta be in Slay the Elemental, baby. And that is what would become the antithesis of this video. Now, before we continue, Alex, do you have anything to add?
I remember because we're gonna talk about the original cut first, at least.
Yes, of course, of course.
I remember being very excited when I was able to help you with that video, because I also remember around this time, um, I wasn't living in Georgia. My stepdad wasn't living in Georgia either. But for like 2 weeks that summer, we were able to visit you guys and visit other family. So I was like, what if we film Supernova parts of Supernova and parts of Slaying the Elemental together.
Well, yeah, because you had been working on the Supernova script at this point, and we're going to talk about the lead up to Supernova because that was a whole thing we set up and we had a payoff and like it was really really great how all those pieces came together. Also, I don't know if I'm kind of lagging a bit. I can see on my end that I'm like,
Your screen showing it's lagging, but your audio's like crystal clear right now.
okay,
So
okay, cool. Um, so yeah, uh, back to Slay and the Elemental.
right.
So I had started filming the opening scene, and this was, of course, the videos that we had been setting up with the that meeting that they had. They're all gonna go in separate directions to try to find Black Death, and who finds Black Death? Slaying the Elemental. So they break into his place, and then it's actually not. Most people don't know this for real. But the person who actually shoots Slay in that opening scene, when Black Death says, "Get out there and kill his ass," the person who shoots Slay is the Invisible Man.
I don't think I knew that, to be honest. It's crazy that you said that too, because I'm pretty sure we brought back the Invisible Man not only in this video but in a follow up too, which we'll
Uh
get
huh.
to that later.
Yeah, Elemental Plight of the Blade, which the former title of that video, you are gonna be utterly shocked what that title was going to be.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Plight of the Blade was way better. But yeah, no, the Invisible Man is the guy who shoots Slay, and so it's kind of almost like we're left to assume how did the Elemental get Slay out of that warehouse. Now it's implied that the Elemental must have fought, even for a brief moment, must have fought the Invisible Man. So I was setting up this rivalry between the Elemental and the Invisible Man that stretches even throughout this video and on to Elemental Plight of the Blade. This great villain. This is his nemesis, kind of. I
I'd
would
say
say.
so. I'd say so.
I would say the Invisible Man is the Elemental's nemesis.
Right, like Dreamwave with Death Hunter.
Yeah, yeah. Which we'll get to Nightmare and Diamond Z. That was a fun video to do.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so that was the opening scene, which that was the only scene that was saved. We'll get there.
So we'll take this moment to transition real quick into Supernova. So as we were saying earlier, we had like this large hype up that was leading up to the creation of this video. And there was a couple reasons why. The
we left little
main
we left little Easter eggs that were if you go back and look in certain videos, you'll see Easter eggs of files on a character, a Supernova. Juan is actually looking at Supernova's file in one of the videos.
Which the funny thing is, in a previous podcast episode, we talked about a slideshow that Elijah and I make to keep track of our characters and our shit. That's what I was using for that scene too. So I thought that was like a neat little thing to do for that scene.
Yeah,
Which I
it
think is
was
why you also see like the elemental and one other character that pops up for that. I think it was Echo. Maybe.
maybe.
But so like the main reason why I wanted to do such a hype lead up is this was supposed to be ideally like the most powerful superhero who was going to be in the Broverse. And as of the moment, I don't think there is anyone who's past Supernova. Like we have some who are definitely up there like Rexhaw and the Elemental. But as of the moment, there isn't anyone past Supernova, and because of that, I wanted to have a large hype up. Now, the other reason was because of our expanded universe, is what I'm going to start calling it. Um, where the character Supernova was originally created. I want to say in the year 2017. 2017, 2018 is when the idea of Supernova was first made.
Maybe. That
Um,
sounds about right.
but because he's such a big character with our expanded universe, I really wanted to do a hype up on this character because for the first time I'm bringing him to life, and it felt so good for me to do that.
Um, Another instance, and this is my favorite personally, is the post-credit scene of Silver Collided Bullets that I did with Ignis and Officer Angus Lee.
Right.
That was the hype right there.
Because
Oh.
that's like what led up to that video because we even brought
Mhm.
back that scene, that clip for Supernova.
Mhm. Mhm. And that paid off really good.
Yeah. But yeah, so as I was briefly talking about earlier, um at this point when Elijah and I were working on these videos, I was pretty much most of the way done with Supernova. So what we did is when I was visiting, we decided to hurry up, wrap up the last few things we did with Supernova, which led to probably one of the greatest fight scenes we've ever done in the forest. Um and then we had a lot of unique things that we did with Slay the Elemental, which unfortunately we weren't able to keep. And I'll let you explain what happened there.
Okay, so the video was done and uploaded, and it was uploaded for like a couple days. And I noticed that there was a little file on it on the channel, and it said that it was still uploading. And I was like, "Oh well, it's probably just a glitch. Let me just get rid of that." And then I did that, and it deleted the video.
I remember he called me, and like the first thing that I heard, I think it was in a voicemail, was, "So don't get mad, but I accidentally did something." And all I could think of is, "What did you do?" Until like actually called you back and you explained what happened, and I was like, "God damn it!"
Okay, but to be fair, I remade it, and I made it way better.
Well, let me tell you this: what do you think makes the new one better than the original?
Well, I'll tell you this. For one, Rex Shaw is mentioned before he's introduced, because in the original cut of Slaying the Elemental, he just kind of appears,
That's true.
and it's kind of random. In the new cut or in the new version, um, he's mentioned before in an early scene. So in your mind, you kind of get the idea of, oh, there's this guy, Rex Shaw. He exists. And so his appearance isn't completely random. Also, the expanded relationship between um, Rex, Leon, and Jacob.
Right. Um, Honestly, I will say the fight scene that you did with Rexhaw and the Elemental teaming up to fight all of those thugs is definitely my favorite scene from that video.
And that was not in the original version.
No, that wasn't.
That was an addition to this new version.
Which, yeah, I will say, like, even though, yeah, it kind of sucked that, the original was deleted. If anything, something good came out of it. And it's not the first time that's happened before. Because
Yeah.
previously I've had, well, it wasn't up on the channel, but I've had to completely redo Palm Bullet New Allies because I accidentally deleted it.
Yeah.
Not New
But
Allies. It was, no, it was New
it was New
Allies.
Allies. It was New Allies.
Emerald Knight, I've almost had to redo. Which I keep thinking of Emerald Knight because there was something that happened when I was making the video that kind of like glitched out like the second half of the video with the sound. It started delaying itself, things started playing over one another. Fortunately, I still had all the backup clips of the video at the time because I learned my mistake from New Allies. Um, to not delete everything until you know it's all good.
Yeah,
But these are the kind of lessons that we learn here on the Bros.
indeed, indeed. Um, but yeah, I would say that the what else did I add in the remake? Oh, I furthered the connection relationship between Jacob and his father, Gunslinger, which we expand upon in Power Squad. Um, yeah,
Something else
and
that I remember we did is with the remake, we also brought back Nobody.
hmm
Because I don't think we had that in the original, which it was nice to have a little Nobody cameo again.
well, yeah, because I realized, well, if this is a supervillain that uses, fear to get to the people that he's attacking, what would Slay have to fear but nobody returning and killing the elemental?
Nobody returning would kind of suck, you know? Like, you're just lonely.
Yeah, nobody returning would be like damn.
Something else that I like is you also, while you had the illusion scene, you did the thing
Oh
with
yeah,
Nobody. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a little movement that he does in Slow Traffic where we have someone tell Nobody, like, Nobody, get down here right now. And he was like, well, sure, I would do that, but got to go. And then he does a little Nobody shuffle, is what I like to call it.
the
And then we
nobody
brought that
shuffle.
back.
We did bring that back. It's good.
Um, let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. So something else that came up with Supernova is with the reason why there is a second Supernova in the Four Nights on the channel. Now I'm sure a lot of people who have seen the video or have seen the podcast at this point probably noticed that it says Captain Patriot Cut. And the reason why I did that is when I was making Supernova. At the time, my phone had no space on it, and I had to actually screen record Supernova for me to get it up. So when you see the Supernova on um, the channel, it's actually a screen recording of the video, which is kind of
Yeah,
like weird to
same thing
think
with
about.
Breck Shaw actually.
Like these are screen recordings. um, but eventually I got a new phone with more space, and I was like, hey, what if I make the director's cut of Supernova and the Four Knights because I have the space now. And I'll let you explain why it's called the Captain Patriot cut too. A
Okay,
little
so
reference.
it actually is a reference. So for anyone who is a fan of the X-Men movies, X-Men Days of Future Past had a special edition called the Rogue Cut, and it's just because a lot of the deleted scenes involved the character Rogue. And so I was like, hey, most of our deleted scenes involve the character Captain Patriot, so why don't we call it Supernova the Captain Patriot Cut?
Which I think was really clever too. Because I remember you mentioned that to me. And at first, I didn't know how I felt about it at first. And then I was like, you know what? I like it. We're doing it. Let's call it the Captain Patriot cut. And then I even made the really cool thumbnail for the Captain Patriot cut video.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm just really glad that we have that full vision
Right.
of that video on the channel, which is really really good.
See, I just wanted to one up us another time with the longest video on the channel, or at least the longest Broverse video, because there's the streams. Because Supernova in the Four Nights for the longest time was the longest Broverse video at like 58, 59 minutes, roughly.
It was gonna be like an hour and
Hour
like full,
16.
which the the Captain Patriot cut was like an hour and like
Um,
8 minutes.
but what happened then is Power Squad came out, and that was an hour. It was supposed to be an hour exactly, but YouTube kind of cut it short by a second. Meaning Then Power Squad was the longest video on the channel, which was also supposed to be intentional. It was supposed to be a longer video. Mostly, it was actually supposed to be 20 minutes when I was scripting it out, but that never works out. Like with Supernova in the 4 nights, that was supposed to be a 20-minute video. Supernova in the 4 nights was not supposed to be a long video. And even with all of those scenes deleted, it was still just under an hour. And then, yeah, I one-upped us again with Power Squad and, uploaded the minute 8-second video.
That is insane.
Something else that I remembered is these are also some of the few videos that we uploaded or added the special like the Broverse intro.
Oh yeah. That I made on my computer.
Um,
Oh yeah, I
the Stranger's Thing one, yeah.
yeah. So Alex had asked me to I don't know if you would ask me to do it. I think I just did it on a whim, and I just had asked what you thought of it.
I know at the very least we were like, okay, we need to put music on it because it didn't have the dancing theme
Mm.
originally. But something else that was supposed to happen is originally the Broverse was supposed to have a intro inspired off of the MCU. However, I was never able to make that in time. I probably could still make it, but it's a little too late to do it now. um but anyway, I feel like we have time to talk about Rex Shaw.
But yeah, I'd say we have time. I mean,
We're only 20 minutes in. This is
I'll
supposed to
say
be an
we.
hour-long podcast episode.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are we gonna get back onto Slaying the Elemental?
Oh, I thought we were done with that. Yeah, we'll go back to
Oh
that
well, I
real
mean,
quick
I
then.
thought we were. Oh well, I mean, do you have anything else to add to it?
Honestly, no. I know Slaying the Elemental was definitely really good with the remake. As sad as I am that the original is no longer up, it's too bad there isn't like a YouTube deleted archive that you can restore deleted videos from.
Yeah,
Um, but I feel like in the end it worked out for us
yeah, I
with the
think
new
it
one.
did. The remake. That's why I wanted to make the remake better.
Yeah. Um, yeah, especially like enhancing the relationship between Slay and Rex. This is also, I believe, the first interaction Slay had after he left the Roses. The first interaction he had with Gunslinger.
Yeah, even if it
Um,
was just a hallucination.
I feel like it counts. I mean, it's like the nobody scene. In
Yeah.
my opinion, it counts. It counts.
So, you have anything else to add about Supernova?
No, I feel like I've covered all the main bases with Supernova. Um, Something that I don't think some people have noticed, or if I've made it obvious enough, but the Captain Patriot who's in the Supernova video is not the same Captain Patriot in the rest of the Broverse. That's actually
Right.
Captain Patriot's nephew,
Right.
who I always forget the real name of.
I don't really know either.
Which is why you never hear anyone call Commander Patriot by his first name.
Right. So yeah, I guess Rex Shaw. Um. Man. So, I have had a couple of inspirations. Uh, the main one is actually I have a little statue here of a character here. This dude right here. This is Nicolas Cage from the movie Mandy from 2018. It's a revenge flick, and you see that axe he's holding. The reason Rexhaw has an axe, this dude right here, is the inspiration for Rexhaw.
I thought that was a guitar.
No, this is an axe, dude.
I mean, Nicolas Cage randomly holding a guitar. Hell, I wouldn't mind having a statue of that either, but
But this dude right here is the inspiration for Rickshaw.
Interesting. I can see it. I can, yeah, I can definitely see it.
So this film is a revenge film, and so this creepy murder cult uh, storms into this guy's life and does something bad to him, and he goes fucking ape shit.
Ah, yeah, there's definitely some taking inspiration from that.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I really did enjoy making the Rex Shaw video. I wanted to put Yanis into the videos because we didn't put Yanis uh, into the canon yet, and I wanted to have that character in the video. See, I had
I
already
mean, he was canon. We just never had him in yet because it was implied that Yanis and Kronos were both betrayed by the Horsemen
right,
in the Supernova video.
right,
If anything,
which
yeah, this is
has
still connected to the Supernova video. So
yeah, which has your favorite joke in the Rex Shaw video.
and the thing is, in the video itself, it kind of is like a blink and you miss it because it's so sudden. But my favorite joke that was in the video was in the Supernova video. Conquest is saying, and trust me, there's no escaping him, like implying, no one can escape war. So when this motherfucker made Rex Shaw, what he decided to do is make an edit where right when he took the opening clip of Supernova, and right when Conquest said that, he would have it jump to war saying, "Damn it, how's he escaping me?" Favorite joke right there.
That was what we call a bicycle cut.
I love bicycles. That's why Juan Bolt's motorcycle's a bicycle. No other reason.
Yeah, and the first Iron Man movie has like 900 bicycle cuts.
Yeah, that's true.
Like for real. He's always working. Working.
Which I did make a parody video to that too. I always forget about that video.
And then there was that other one oh, you could just say, can't you just say it was just a test that gone wrong? You know, I can't just say that. So there was a test fire that had been done.
Ah, man, the original Iron Man movie is definitely my favorite out of
Oh man, it's one of my favorite MCU movies ever.
Iron Man and
The
First Avenger.
first hour of Iron Man 1 is fucking solid.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
The first hour is just incredible. That is you want to start a universe? That's the way to do it.
Which with our expanded Broverse universe, as I'm gonna temporarily call it, that is kind of how I started off.
In,
Heavily inspired off of
in a
Iron Man.
cave?
I mean, kind of starts in a cave. It starts in another outworldly realm, but the story itself picks up in a cave. So,
I was half tempted to go grab the fucking Mark 1 blueprints with the fucking the
yeah, Elijah has the MCU box sets.
what do you say?
I was just saying how, yeah, you have the box sets.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But anyway, back to Rexhaw, because we got a little sidetracked there.
We did get a little sidetracked, but that's what you come to the Broskies. This is what you sign up for, okay?
It's not as bad as our second Broskies episode, which I'm neglecting to keep uploaded on YouTube. It's only on
Yeah,
Spotify.
that was a freaking disaster. Is what that was.
Yeah, it's on Spotify, but it's not on YouTube.
So the main thing I wanted to do with this Rex Shaw video, besides of course bring in the origin for this character that I had created, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to explain what the heck, where's the world domination gauntlet? We don't know where that is, or or we know where it is, but nothing's being done with it
Right.
because no villain is coming to claim it.
Like it's kind of being implied that nobody's corpse is just sitting in a random house with a golden glove on his hand.
So, if you've seen the video, you know that Rex goes to claim the gauntlet. Not only does he puts it on and starts beating people up with it.
I mean, to be fair, the power of the Infinity Stones wasn't really there.
And also, that's a heavy ass glove to be punching people with.
That's true. Now it turns
Uh,
out it weighs like only like a pound in universe too.
and then it gets melted down into what would become, well, it's supposed to be called the Beast. I don't know if we ever call it that.
If we did, it was probably only like once and never again.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe in Supernova we call it the Beast. I don't know.
No, it definitely wouldn't have been in a Supernova video.
Dang. Uh, which, by the way, I want to bring up. Uh, During that fight with Supernova and Griffin on Earth 2, there is a moment where he slams the axe into the ground, and in the background, perfectly timed lightning strike. You can't get a shot better than that.
I think what makes that shot so much better is the beast was lighting up. Or Stormbreaker, I'm going to keep saying the beast, was lighting up. And you slammed it down, and it did a little crackle on the beast. And then the moment it shut off and made the sound effect, that's when you would see the lightning in the background. And
You
like that,
can't get a better shot than that.
no, it would have to be special effects. And no, we don't have special effects that good on the Bros.
Yeah, no, that was real thunder.
So so glad I didn't delete Supernova on accident. um, let's see. Um, but yeah, I know, and I know like you made a video about this too. But I know like with the original Rexhaw video, I don't know if you ever deleted the original, but I know you did make a edited version.
I did not delete the original. I believe in artistic integrity, but that's not the version I wanted to be on the channel just because um the scenes that I had filmed with Black Skull, I felt uncomfortable with them looking back at it. At the time I was like, whatever, but given some time I was like, I kind of feel uncomfortable having this on the channel. I mean, I didn't delete it. Uh, the original is still up if you want to watch it. But if you watch the Power Squad Saga playlist, that's not going to be the version that's on there.
Right.
That's the version that I want people to see. And it was only 2 minutes deleted of footage. Nothing changed really. Most of the stuff was cut out, just stuff that I was like, okay, whoa. I was
Yeah, I
a little.
remember when you were like telling me about the character, and I remember I told you because I don't know if you remember this, but Black Skull was going to be a lot worse, and I told you maybe you should maybe tone it down just a little bit.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what exactly I was thinking, in all honesty, but I am glad that I did change it though, because I feel a lot more comfortable with this version.
Yeah, and I mean it really didn't change anything with the story anyway.
No, not at all.
Um, Something else that actually recently came up too is Elijah realized that Rex Shaw is Klaus. I would say Klaus is Rex Shaw, but the movie Klaus came out first.
Yeah, yeah. Not only is it Red Miller from Mandy, but it's also Klaus from Klaus. Well,
Um,
he's closer to Klaus than Red Miller because Red Miller is just a tad bit more psychotic.
right. Retired old woodsman lost his wife, wants to make better in the world.
That's both Red Miller and Klaus.
Well, all right then. Yeah, so there's Rexha. Um,
In fact, I think his name being Rex Shaw is a play on Red Miller
you'll have to indulge me on that one.
because I think I had wanted his name to be Red originally based off of Red Miller. Um, I think you had said you wanted to you had brought up the name Rex and I was like, oh, okay,
Which
okay,
the only reason I brought that name up is because of Rex from the Clone Wars.
really,
Yeah.
huh?
Um, I just thought it was an interesting name and I wanted to use it. Which I mean, in the long run, I feel like it worked out. So,
I feel like it did too. I really enjoy Rex Shaw. Um, I enjoy his character a lot. Uh, I really wish that my boys Duran Duran would let me use Rio in Rex Shaw. That would be really nice.
yeah, that
Like
was.
I don't mean no disrespect. I love your music. That's why I want to use it in the video.
Just let me use your shit. Damn it.
It's like I'm not making any money off of this.
You know what's kind of funny? Between the two of us, you're the only one who's had videos deleted off of YouTube or taken down from YouTube because of the
The
music.
first one being Cheating Death Fight of the Apocalypse because it was supposed to play All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. I like that song. And like I'm not making any money off of it, and like as soon as it got uploaded, it got deleted.
Um, See, I'll be honest, when I uploaded Red Knight Undercover, I got really nervous for a second because I kept getting notifications through the YouTube Studio app saying, "Hey, there's a copyright error with your video." And I'm like, "Oh,
Oh my
fuck.
god.
Please don't be," because I really wanted the two songs that I used in that video. But thankfully it wasn't deleted. It's just partially blocked. If you haven't seen Red Knight Undercover, I would recommend watching a
Go
couple
watch it.
other videos first, but you're gonna really hate the ending.
Go watch
Elijah
it. Go
did.
watch. Go watch Red Dead Undercover. It's a good video.
Um Now there's a couple other things that I want to touch base on through this podcast episode. One of them is probably going to be like a little bit of an update that we can do through this podcast episode at the very end. But another video that I want to talk about, which is still related on topic, is Heroes United because it's
Hmm.
kind of a continuation, in my opinion, of Supernova in the
That's really
formats.
nice. Okay.
Um, so Heroes United is actually, well, yes, it's kind of a Batman v Superman story. In terms of the plot, it's actually inspired off of a story from our expanded universe.
Oh.
Um, in one of the later, I guess you could say, sagas of the expanded universe, or as Elijah and I call them, generations. And what would be the fourth saga of the expanded universe, there is a story where Supernova and Captain Patriot actually have to fight each other. And I took heavy inspiration off of that story for Heroes United. And what's funny is originally that story was also going to be called Supernova and Captain Patriot Heroes United, which I've decided to change the name of since while planning that story.
Yeah. Hey. Oh. Man. I wonder where you could have possibly got that idea. Where, uh, maybe this. I don't know. You know what this is, right?
Yeah. Um, See, now the original Heroes United storyline for us was more inspired off of Thor Ragnarok.
Hmm. But we took a little
Um,
bit off of Public Enemies, right?
yeah.
Specifically, I think. Let me see. Specifically, I think it's the scene with Hawkman and Shazam versus. Yeah, yeah, Hawkman and Shazam versus Batman and Superman.
Are you referring to the video or one of the expanded stories?
I believe it's the video. Yeah.
Um, I don't think there's anything off of that specifically because Supernova only has one-on-one encounters in the video.
Okay.
Um, One of the biggest encounters that we see outside of the fight with Juan Bullet is actually the Supernova v Slay fight.
Okay.
Um, which
That was
was
a
kind of
really cool fight, actually.
that was something that was unique is instead of using slow motion effects for the video, we just had Elijah be in slow motion.
Yeah.
And then Elijah later down the road made the edited version of that of Supernova Heroes United without, or it was just Supernova without slow mo or something like that, or
And
Supernova in real
he
time.
moves really, really, really fast.
It's like blink and what the fuck just happened kind of thing.
That's like I don't know how he literally does that.
Um, Now in universe there is I think an explanation on like how he doesn't just destroy the earth from moving so fast. Basically, when he uses his powers, there's a magical barrier that kind of contains all of the kinetic energy. Basically, I used magic bullshit to bullshit my way through Supernova. So, you're welcome, YouTube. Now, I will say the fight scene between Juan and Supernova was a really hard fight scene to film because it was also one that I had planned for probably a year before I even made Heroes United. I wanted to make Heroes United purely off of a fight scene that I envisioned like a year before. Like, what if Supernova and Juan Bullet fought each other? And I thought specifically of a scene of Supernova super punching Juan, and basically, what would happen is I would take the camera and I would quickly shake it as Supernova throws the punch. While it's shaking, I was going to have the clip change to Juan, and I would kind of shake it a little bit and show myself slam against a wall. Now, originally, I envisioned it being in a different film location than where I did it, and I also envisioned it during the day. But that being said, I still had that clip in there. I believe I did something pretty similar in that video though, where Supernova punches him.
Yes, I believe so.
But that was also definitely probably one of my better fight scenes I've done in terms of like how I film solo fight scenes.
You know what I just thought about.
What's that?
Um, the Broskies would be a really good place to do book talk because I just realized that whether or not that I could do singular episodes, I could do a book talk in this format, and it would
That's
still
true.
be. And by the way, book talk is in TALK. I did it first. Fucking TikTok. I did it before your stupid asses and your horny asses with icebreakers did that shit on TikTok. I did book talk first, you assholes.
Oh man, that's funny. I mean, think about this though, Elijah. I have two podcasts that I do by myself outside of the Broskies. So I say, why not do book talk as one of yours?
Well, hey,
Because I
well,
can
shoot.
also show you how to make it in podcast format.
Well, shoot. Maybe if we have some time, towards the end of this episode, I could maybe have a little test run. We could see how it goes.
We'll see. Um, let's see. Is there anything that you want to add with New Hero or Heroes United?
Um, I like the fact that you used the magical portal effect that I had from Slaying the Elemental. I like that you used that in reference with of the Elemental a second time.
Right.
I also like the after credit scene with the Elemental and Supernova. It kind of sets up their relationship and how they do things.
Right. Now, there is another scene in Plight of the Blade that has Supernova doing a training moment with Leon. Um, Part of me kind of wish we got to do a little bit more with that, because it's kind of implied that in between Broverse videos, Supernova's been teaching Leon how to use his powers properly.
Yeah,
Like Slay teaches him how to fight and everything else, Supernova teaches him how to properly use his powers.
yeah, I do like that. I do like that.
All right. So yeah, I think that's it for the videos that we wanted to talk about. So I know I did mention I wanted to possibly, sorry, do a update at the end of the
Okay,
podcast too. So we actually have quite a bit planned this year for the bros, I would say.
I would say so. I would say so. Well, did you want to go first with your projects that you have planned?
Um, so outside of what Elijah and I are going to be doing together, is a few projects that I actually have planned are new comedy skits that I want to do. One of them in particular that I will announce now is what retail workers wish they could say to you.
And I have one planned making fun of British people and their long, long names that they have for towns.
There is a project that after this podcast episode I'm probably going to record for. The first episode of Broverse What If is finally going to be coming out, hopefully by the end of this week. Yeah, I'd say about by the end of this week.
It
Um,
does sound good. Does sound good.
Basically the premise is, just what if. And unlike it being a connected thing, fucking Marvel, it would be podcast styled, me talk, you listen style videos.
Yeah, we're not just gonna make it about one thing and then have that be one thing across 3 seasons of a show.
Exactly. Something I will announce though, um, is what the first episode will be. I won't announce every episode when I make them, but to start off, the first episode is what if Imperfect Alex never turned evil.
Hmm, that's a good
Um,
one.
Basically, it would follow him during BSP5. So that version of Imperfect Alex.
So some of my projects that I got planned. I got a planned video for the Alpha Squad of the RPD.
We're
It's gonna be an
finally getting the Alpha Squad video
and,
after how many years after I made the Bravo Squad?
yeah, and it's gonna be an homage to one of my favorite video games, Resident Evil One Remake.
Definitely an homage. I think it was going to be more of a parody before
And
until
now it's gonna be more of just an homage. Now I do have a couple of reviews planned, and these are gonna be some good ones. The first review is Hitman Blood Money, which is going to be a sequel review to my Hitman 2 Silent Assassin review. Now, the second review is the review of a movie that came out last year. This little tiny boy, this little activator boy, this little substance boy. I plan on doing a review on the substance and maybe doing a little parody of my own, a little fan film of my own about the substance, just because this is one of my favorite films of all time, if not just one of the best films I have ever seen for real. That is wild. That is one of the craziest films I have ever seen. If you have not seen it, guys, go watch The Substance. It is oh my god.
I think what helps is that you watched it after your expectations of movies were lowered from Joker 2.
Oh my god. It was like a breath of fresh air. Oh my god. 2024 was so lame. I was just like, oh, Joker 2 sucks. I was like, Alex, I need to make a review, which I do plan eventually on saying my piece with Joker 2 being stupid film that it is. But thankfully, the substance came out, and I was like, oh my god, finally a good movie.
So I actually also have a couple reviews that I have planned this year as well. So first and foremost, there's one review that I started making and I never finished it. I could have swore I finished writing the script for it too. Is The Other Guys.
Yeah, you had that planned for a while now, huh?
I actually started making the script for that review when I was making Supernova in the Four Nights. Another tie-in to the main subject of the podcast. um I do have another movie review planned, and it should come out this year, hopefully soon. Honestly, I kind of want to do it. Is Transformers One?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Also, I don't know, but I can't. I kind of want to use the podcast as like a platform for like other reviews, like reviews of like TV shows of like what if we went through like I don't know like Transformers Prime or something like that.
That is something we could do. Now, I don't know if we would use the Broskies specifically. I kind of think I would want to keep like the Broskies show what it is. But like I said, there is a way to make other videos and long videos into a podcast format, which I can also show you how to do that because that's how I made the Broverse lore videos into podcasts.
Right, right.
Which, by the way, Broverse lore, that's another thing. I have another Broverse lore project coming out soon. And my first ever game review.
Game review.
Yep, I'm not going to tell you what game I'm going to review, but I'm going to review a game.
I think I have an idea on what it is.
What do you think it is?
I want to say Doom, but you said you wanted me to review Doom because of the thing I did in the
Yeah.
the intro.
Yeah, no, I'm not reviewing Doom. I'll do Doom Eternal, but not until you do Doom first.
Doom
So
2016. Yeah.
if you want a Doom Eternal review, Elijah has to do Doom 2016 first.
Oh God. Don't put that on my shoulders. Well,
We will not have a Doom Eternals review until this bitch does Doom. um but no, it won't be Doom.
okay. But that's gonna be interesting though.
Because I've never done a game review before. I'm the movie review guy, but we've kind of been experimenting on doing other reviews. So
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I did a movie review on Sweet Home, uh, about like a year ago, 2 years ago.
I'd say about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Anything else for updates?
Um,
Well,
not that.
I guess the biggest thing coming out this year is going to be our biggest Broverse project yet, and I would dare say it's bigger than Power Squad, and that's Power Squad Part Dose. Yes, there is going to be a Power Squad Part Dose. Elijah didn't piss me off enough to cancel it. So, there will not be a cliffhanger to end the Broverse. Two
Nah, I did.
cliffhangers.
No way. We're gonna try our hardest because my ass is starting school soon. So we're gonna try our hardest to get this thing filmed. If not, we're gonna get this thing filmed as hard as we can.
Right. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up this episode of the Broskies. As
Well, did you want
always,
did you
uh,
want to try to did you want to try to experiment with a
I
possible
I think we'll do that with another episode.
gotcha.
So this way we can have more of a focus on it. Because this is
Okay,
already
gotcha.
getting to an hour.
Alrighty. Well, alrighty.
All right. As always, I'm Alex Fox,
And I'm Elijah Phillips.
and you're watching the Broskies.